I feel like companies are going to be in for a very rude surprise as they try and replace actual workers with AI. Because in my experience, a lot of these like business runners, like manager people, like they really think that like labor is worthless and that they have to undercut them as much as possible. Like, and they're always talking about like replacing them, whether it's with the legals or it's with like, anyone they can pay less, like that's kind of their obsession, that's kind of all they think about. Instead of making their product better and selling more, or maybe slashing their own pay if they can't run their businesses properly. Instead, they do this thing where they're just like, oh, we'll just cut labor. Oh, they don't do anything right. Oh, they only provide the essential services that that make our business function. So they're obsessed with this nonsense, and it's really dumb. And it's probably why the corporate world in America is so unbelievably retarded, is just their inability to process something so simple. But one of the things they're doing right now is that they're going all in on the AI thing, and they're starting running their mouths about all this crap about how AI is going to replace everything, and they're going to run entire businesses where AI does all the work, and they're going to reap all the profits. And it's just it's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb. AI is a tool to be used, okay? You're going to have someone using it for a purpose to do something, okay? And that's true for every technological innovation, okay? This is my thing with this, right? These guys don't have any firsthand experience with AI. They don't use it themselves, and if they do, they're kind of unaware of its limitations and what it can and can't do. And if you're like me and you've been messing around with it for the past few years, you have slowly begun to notice the limitations of even the most sophisticated AI models. Okay, the image generation, asking it questions. You'll have noticed situations in which it has no idea what it's talking about, and then it does that thing where it pretends with full confidence that everything it says is completely true. And we've seen people get into situations where this is kind of embarrassing, okay? Where they completely fuck up because of AI. For example, our Carl Jobst, okay? This is just an example. He put his lawsuit into AI, ChatGPT, I think it was, and asked it, am I going to beat Billy Mitchell in court? And, the AI was just yes, you definitely are. You have an ironclad case. You are not in a situation where anything could possibly go wrong. And so Carl Jobst posted this on his Discord, bragged about it, and then proceeded to lose the lawsuit. Because, of course, AI doesn't know what it's talking about. Because, probably AI isn't trained on Australian law. AI isn't trained on, the particulars of that case. AI didn't account for, Jobst's bias as he put it into the case. And it probably just misinterpreted the facts anyway. There are all these factors that led to it coming to this radically incorrect conclusion. And that is the reoccurring thing I think people see with AI. They don't see something that they're going to get replaced by. They see something that is obviously making a ton of mistakes that a person would never actually make. And then you're seeing business leaders and corporations do this thing where they're we're going to replace everybody. We're going to replace everybody. Oh, fuck labor. Oh, how dare you want a living wage? They're doing that thing again, okay? They really think this is going to be some major technological innovation that will lead to them not having to hire a single person ever again. And that's just not going to happen, okay? I think it's already pretty clear at this point that the AI thing isn't really that big of a deal. It's not a game changer. Artists aren't really struggling. I'm not struggling. Okay, I was told that oh yeah, AI is gonna replace fiction writing because you can just put in a prompt. No, it's not. No, it isn't. If you actually experimented with that, you know how derivative AI is, you know how uninspired it is, you know how it's basically just copying other formats and then other people's work and then just kind of presenting it as its own, using like terminology that like already existed that was created by someone else, essentially. And then like it's not possible for it to come up with something new, original, or creative. Like it can't really innovate. And that's very, very obvious if you spend a lot of time messing around with it and playing with it. But like, I think like business leaders like aren't in that mindset because these people don't really work that much. All they do is exploit other people. Like they have no idea what this thing actually is, and instead are getting in their heads that like it's going to like radically change everything, and that's going to radically just lead them into this like utopian society. And don't fall for it. It's not true. It's not real. Don't take people seriously when they say it's going to replace jobs. It's not. People do need to like start calling out this kind of thing more, because that's kind of what I've been seeing lately is that people keep using AI as a justification for letting people go or like not giving them raises or whatever, and I'm just like, well, where is the AI? Like, what are you going to do to replace my job? Like, I've seen people like try and say that like, oh, they're going to come for plumbers too, and I'm just like, what? Like, what plumbing AI have you seen? Like, well, it's going to happen eventually. Like, when? Like 10, 20, 50 years from now, when the industry will adapt? Like, again, it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense, and it really should get called out for what it is. It really is just a gigantic cope to justify not giving people jobs. If they try and tell you that like, well, like AI is going to do your job for cheaper, just be like, well, where is it now? Okay, you fucking retard. Like again, I do think people do need to understand this, is that like corpos are just gaslighting you all the time. They're always saying that you're worthless and that you don't deserve more. That isn't true at all. So don't take them seriously. Push back against it, and I would advise you learn everything you can about AI, so you can call these people out when they try and tell you that like, oh yeah, your job it's gonna be replaced imminently. Oh, it's done, it's finished. Oh, you're gonna be made obsolete. It's not true. Okay, I do think it's time we really start coming out and saying this, that like no one's gonna be made obsolete by AI. It's just not gonna happen. Like I just don't see that like the narrative that people who actually work, who actually contribute, are gonna get replaced by essentially what's a glorified chatbot. Okay, when you get right down to it, this thing is not ever going to replace actual human ingenuity. It is just a tool to be used.